Welcome to the beautiful East End Lagoon Nature Preserve on Galveston Island here on the Upper Texas coast. My name is Matt Abernathy and I'm a volunteer with the Galveston Island Nature Tourism Council, and I'm going to be showing you around this preserve today as we take a look at a variety of plants and animals that can be found out here on the preserve. We're going to be exploring the East End Lagoon Nature Trail, which is a half-mile ADA accessible nature trail just off the Seawall Boulevard in between Seawall and East Beach. Today, as we explore the East End Lagoon Nature Trail, we're going to be taking a look at a variety of different wildflowers and pollinators that can be found throughout the preserve. Here on Galveston Island, we have a very mild climate, meaning that it's warm most of the year. That warm weather is great for people who really don't like to spend time in the cold, but it's also great for our plants and animals. That warm weather also means we have a much longer growing season, which provides a better chance to see some of the many different types of wildflowers that we have out in this area. These yellow flowers behind me here are beach evening primrose. These can be seen along the coastal areas of Texas, especially out here at the preserve, almost all year round. As long as the weather's warm enough for them to grow, they'll be here. We'll take a closer look at these here. This beach evening primrose is an absolutely stunning flower. The bright yellow petals and the wide open face of that flower provide a lot of room for different pollinators to be able to get in there, get some nectar, and collect a little pollen on them before they move on to the next flower. Mixed in this stand of beach evening primrose is evidence of one of our earlier blooming wildflowers, the Illinois bundleflower. These seed pods right here are all that's left of the wildflower that bloomed earlier this year. Now, it's really great for us to be able to see these seed pods because all the seeds in here will drop down into the soil, and more seeds in the soil mean more native wildflowers in the next growing season. Another type of plant that provides a really gorgeous flower for you to take a look at is one that people may not normally think of as a wildflower. Prickly pear cactus, like behind me here, has a large, beautiful yellow flower. Sometimes it can be a little orange or red, and those flowers are very attractive to a variety of different types of wildlife out here. Prickly pear cactus also provides other services to wildlife because it retains so much water that animals that can feed on it will actually get a lot of moisture from eating that fruit or the pads that are on the flower. Many of the flowers that you see out here on the preserve are going to have very large, showy blooms. They're going to be very colorful, and they're meant to attract the pollinators into them. But some of our wildflowers here are much smaller, don't have as many showy colors, but still provide just as much of a service to pollinators as the larger, more attractive flowers do. Two examples that we have here are the large leaf pennywort and the frog fruit. The first one over here, the large leaf pennywort, are these large round leaves that you have growing all over the floor here. The flowers of this are these little stalks right here. They have tiny little white flowers on them with yellow centers, and these provide a lot of nectar for some of our smallest insects that we have out here at the preserve. So if you're walking by and you see a stand of these flowers, take a closer look because you never know what you might see crawling over them. Just behind the pennywort here, we have another small wildflower. This one is called frog fruit. This tiny little white flower grows all over the ground here at the preserve and is another wonderful nectar source for a variety of different animals that we have out here at the preserve. A type of flower that looks a little bit different than some of the others we've seen today are the dayflowers. These small flowers here have really attractive blue petals with little yellow centers in them. And this coloration attracts a lot of different types of insects. The different types of colors that flowers have are actually meant to attract different types of insects depending on what type of pollinator prefers that type of flower. Right behind here we have another one that actually provides a nectar source to a very unique group of pollinators. We have some Japanese honeysuckle growing here, and as the name suggests, it is not native to this area, but it is still a wonderful nectar source. Those long tubular flowers are very, very perfect for one of the primary pollinators of this plant. Can you guess what type of animal has a long, skinny bill that would be able to get in and get the nectar out of these? You're absolutely right. These are great for hummingbirds. Hummingbirds will come in and get their bill way down in the base of these flowers to get the nectar out, and they'll be able to get a little bit of pollen on them that they'll transfer over to the next honeysuckle when they move on down the plant. One of the larger flowering shrubs that we have out here in the preserve is the rattlebox. Now, the rattlebox can be found all along our trails out here, and they have a really unique seed pod and flower structure to them. They have really bright yellow flowers that you can see a little further up on the stem in here, and those flower clusters hang down and are very attractive to a variety of different insects that are going to come and get nectar from them. Once those flowers are pollinated and turn into the seed pod, that's where this plant gets its name. You can see one of these seed pods right here, and it's a nice little compact container that looks almost like a pea. And when they're dried out, inside the seeds actually rattle, very similar to a baby's rattle. Down here, I caught a glimpse of a beautiful lavender flower called the catchfly prairie gentian. This tiny little flower grows close to the ground, and you may easily overlook it, but the beautiful purples, whites, and yellows really stand out when you take a closer look, and these definitely are very helpful in attracting some of the pollinators that help to feed off of this plant and carry it from generation to generation. One of the most common wildflowers found throughout the prairies here in southeast Texas and out here at the East End Lagoon Nature Preserve is the firewheel. Now, these get their name because of the round shape and the bright reds, oranges, and yellows that do kind of look like the colors you're going to see in a fire. Now, these beautiful flowers are very, very attractive. Lots of different pollinators love to come in and feed on them. And with the nice warm weather that we have here, these are going to be able to be seen many, many months throughout the year. These unique flowers over here are a type of plant called spotted horse mint. We're going to come in close and take a look at these because they definitely look a lot different from the normal wildflowers that you see out here. As the name suggests, spotted horse mint is a member of the mint family, and if the stems are broken, they even give off a very fragrant mint-like smell. These are a pretty unique wildflower and usually stand out here at the preserve, and one that we're really lucky to see when we're out having a walk today. Thank you for joining us today at the East End Lagoon Nature Preserve. I hope you had as much fun exploring the preserve today as I did showing you around, and we really hope that you get a chance to come out and visit us in person soon. Have a good day.